Oh, this story is absolutely heartbreaking, and this woman had so much more life to live, and she would have saved so many lives, but unfortunately, she was killed last night. A Philadelphia pediatric cancer daughter was thrown over 30 feet in the air as she was tragically killed in a collision while she was riding her bike. 30-year-old Barbara Friedez, and I hope I pronounced that correctly, was hit by a speeding driver last night at 7 p.m. That was Wednesday, July 17th. This was in the Center City area. She was originally from Colorado. Witnesses who were at the scene said it was complete chaos after she was struck. Reportedly, Barbara was riding in the designated bike lane when a 68-year-old driver, who has not yet been named, struck her at a very high rate of speed as he too was driving down the same lane. He then reportedly struck two other cars who were luckily unoccupied at the time he hit them. Nobody was in those cars, luckily. Barbara's family said that her death will have a huge impact on the community, especially her young patients at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, where she was reportedly a doctor. Her family is devastated, and I can imagine so. Barbara was rushed to the hospital after the crash, and she reportedly suffered really bad head injuries. It was said that both bystanders and police who were at the scene rushed to help her, but she was pronounced deceased at the hospital, unfortunately. A witness who was also riding their bike at the same time said they just remember what they saw, and now when they close their eyes, now all they see is Barbara upside down in the air. This is so tragic. This witness said they came across their deepest fear yesterday, which was to witness a high-speed collision with a cyclist. It was also reported by police that the 68-year-old driver that hit Barbara was speeding at the time of the collision, and they too were taken to the hospital after they sustained injuries from the wreck. The driver reportedly kept speeding down the bike lane even after they struck Barbara, and as I said, they later struck two unoccupied vehicles. It was said that the force of the impact sent the car spinning down the road, and the vehicle twisted 180 degrees before it came to rest in the opposite direction. According to the Philadelphia Police Department, the driver was then hospitalized with only minor injuries. And what's crazy is there was no arrest made at the time. Authorities have stated that the investigation is ongoing, but they didn't state whether or not they intend to bring any charges at this time. That's crazy to me because it's very clear the driver was in the wrong. They should have immediately been in custody after they were treated for their injuries, unless there was some type of medical event, like if they suffered a stroke or something that was completely out of their control. I guess that's what the investigation is for, and that will come out with time. One witness told a media outlet that when the driver drove erratically, he heard it go over the pegs that block the bike off the bike line, and this witness thought that was gunshots. Detectives are still reportedly working to determine the cause of the wreck and collision. Barbara's family stated that she drove her bike to work and from work every day. They also stated she will always be remembered as a kind and loving friend and a talented doctor who loved and cared for all her patients. Her brother stated that her death will have a ripple effect across the community, especially with her young patients who she saw every day at the hospital. This is terrible. I just hope justice is served and the driver is arrested, unless there was some type of medical event where they couldn't help it. Prayers go out to her family and friends. Guys, you just never know when your last day here is going to be, so live life to the fullest, always.